Hello everybody, Net Narrator here. Sorry I'm late by about 10 minutes. That's totally never happened before on this channel. Anyways, we're back to doing some Epstein narrations. More importantly, well, more specifically I should say, the DOJ disclosures via the Epstein Files Transparency Act, HR 4405. Now currently there are 12 datasets. I think there might be some more being released. And there's a bunch of other stuff going on as well. But what we are focusing on is currently these data sets. We're going for the lot in order. So it's data sets 1 through 12 at the moment. We have done data set 1, 2, and 3. So we are actually starting on data set 4. Now, one thing I should note is that I am intending to narrate this in chronological order, right from the beginning. However, if there's stuff that goes viral or whatever, or if there's a few things that a lot of people are talking about, I will maybe do that at the end of a stream as well, just to cover what everybody's talking about, keep it relevant, and bring more attention to what I'm doing here. Anyway, and in that regard, we did. We did what was essentially something that was put up and then taken down pretty quickly, but I managed to grab it before that happened. Essentially they named specifically anonymous tips regarding Trump's involvement in some of the Epstein stuff, which, as I pointed out, either is perhaps not credible, but possible. So I'm not. It could be true, it could be false, but a lot of people on Twitter were presenting it as fact, when it's not necessarily truthful, or indeed logical in a few cases. That said, plausible. So I thought I better cover it in full anyway, so people get the entire thing, and then they can make whatever judgments they want. And I'll be doing that in any other situation. Certainly Bill Clinton has undergone a lot of scrutiny recently. And I said, though he did appear in a lot of the photos earlier, currently there are lack of witnesses calling him out. Which, I would say that's a lack of witnesses so far at least. Because I do know there's some more testimony coming out. But both he and Hillary Clinton have continually refused to testify before Congress. And he is now doing so, or at least he and Hillary they're both now doing so. However, speaking of testifying before Congress or testifying before people, Ghislaine Maxwell, she's also recently reappeared. They've dragged her out of her cell to appear before Congress, and she has been refusing to answer questions. Completely refusing to cooperate. So, I have made it abundantly clear how much I fucking hate Ghislaine Maxwell. And this is partly because of the previous set of Epstein Files, which I did at the start of 2024, where I narrated court documents involving her and Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's traffic victims, and indeed one of Ghislaine Maxwell's victims as well, who unfortunately took her own life before I started doing these streams. But also it happened after I did the original Epstein Files. Now, speaking of which, this is her charity, SOAR, Speak Out, Act, and Reclaim. Now, as always... Oh, I didn't mean to bring that up. My cat's in the background, if you can hear that. But anyways, I intend for all financial gain from these streams and these other clips I'm taking of the Epstein Files to go to this charity specifically. Because this is the charity created by Virginia Giuffre. However, they are not accepting public donations at the moment. So, it's sort of in limbo at the moment. Just when they're able to accept donations, all the money gets totted up. I have access to my YouTube stats from all of this, and I have access to all the books and everything. So I can just send it all to them, and I'll send a screenshot to everyone just to prove it. Alternatively, if that's not the case, I can involve another charity instead and make a suitable donation to them. That's what I intend to do. So all of these streams, not necessarily for my personal gain. It's more for the money's going to go to charity at the end of the day. But I do heavily sympathise with Virginia Giuffre's cause, and it was sad when she died as well. So I'm hoping that by narrating these fully in order, not only are we actually picking up on certain things that have been missed by the wider YouTube community, for example, the scrapbook, which is one of the worst things I've ever narrated on this channel. But it also shows that I'm being thorough. I'm just going through absolutely everything. It will take me a little while, but I have no doubt I will get it done. If anyone on this platform can get it done, it's probably going to be me. But anyway, we are already done through. We've already gone through 3 data sets. On paper, at least, we're a quarter of the way. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure there's going to be more stuff, but for now, we're going to go for data set 4 and carry on from there. Anyway, let's just swap to my PDF. There we go. And here we have more readable material. So I'm going to try and zoom in as much as I can. Also, something I mentioned, my face cam should be a lot better now. I've sort of tweaked around with the settings on Streamlabs, so it doesn't become blurry or anything like that. With regards to like these Epstein file readings, is less important. Because obviously the focus is on the material being read here. But I think it adds to my legitimacy, and it, especially when I'm making clips, that, you know, you can see is an actual person reading it and not just some blurry amateur who could be making shit up. So anyway, oh no, that's not the first file. First file, we're going to start here. Unclassified. Federal Bureau of Investigation, CHS reporting document. Form classification unclassified. Source ID redacted. Date 2010-12-10. Case agent name redacted. Field office Jacksonville. Squad 10. Date of contact 2010-12-10. Participants/witnesses redacted. Type of contact in person. Location United States. Country United States. City Jacksonville, State Florida. Data report 2010-12-10. Substantive case file number 31EMM108062. Source reporting, nothing there. Source provided, source provided current email address for redacted as redacted. Source also has received 8 current photographs of redacted that were forwarded by redacted to ATP Jacksonville recently. These will be forwarded to MM under separate cover. Unclassified. And that's a separate page there. Oh, I should mention, before we're, I should have mentioned this before we started. I have calculated, if I just bring it down here, so there are a total of 2,615 listings within dataset 4, and this is condensed into 152 files. So it's more files than the last one, more listings than the last one, I think as well, and it's less to do with photos and more with actual readable content. However, you'll notice that some of the case numbers, this covers a completely blank page. So we are going to enter legal documents and other stuff, and interview testimony, I think, as well. This is going to provide some very interesting material, I think. And when I say, you know, interesting highlights and all of that, I don't intend to, like, glorify this in the slightest, which, you know, should be blatantly obvious by this point. But it's more like a point of interest that I'm highlighting, because I found a few things that other YouTubers perhaps have not yet picked up on yet. And I encourage you to spread this stuff around. I'll always include, if I make a clip or if I notice a point of interest, I'll note down the file name, I'll note down the dataset. We're on dataset 4 at the moment, and other YouTubers, my fellow creators, can say what they like on that. And indeed, I fully respect my fellow creators for essentially helping out, doing their bit, because I think civilian and independent journalism, not that I consider myself a journalist at all, I think that's the most reliable thing right now with regards to the Epstein stuff, because there's too much wishy-washy stuff. I mean, there was the CEO of The Atlantic, for example. They were caught being involved with Epstein. You don't necessarily know who to trust. Oh, by the way, I'm not suicidal at all. So, you know, if I get Epsteined, you know there's something dodgy there. Anyway, let's carry on. Next one. Sorry, I just like to throw that out there from time to time, just in case, you know. Anyway, precedence, routine, date 03/14/2011. To Miami. Attention, Squad PB2, Palm Beach County, RA. SA redacted, SSA redacted. To Canberra. Attention, Legat redacted, Alat redacted. From Criminal Criminal Investigative Crimes Against Children Unit, contact SSA, redacted. Approved by, redacted. Drafted by, redacted. Case ID number 31E MM108062, pending. Title, Jeffrey Epstein. Redacted. Ghislaine Maxwell. WSTA, child prostitution. Synopsis. To advise Miami Division of CACU concurrence of the travel request of 2 Miami agents to travel to Sydney, Australia from 03/14/2011 to 03/21/2011 to interview United States citizen, redacted. Details. CACU concurs with Miami Division's request for 2 Miami agents to travel to Sydney, Australia from 03/14/2011 to 03/21/2011 to interview United States citizen, redacted. In addition, per email dated 03/14/2011, Criminal Investigative Division, Deputy Assistant Director, redacted, concurs with Miami Division's international travel request. CACU advises Miami Division to conduct all appropriate county clearance requirements regarding official travel to foreign countries as set forth by the Office of International Operations, OIO, regarding international travel requirements for FBI employees. The following procedures are required to be completed by travelers prior to official FBI travel overseas. Steps 1 and 2 should be done simultaneously, and early coordination with the respective legat is strongly encouraged. 1. An EC to the responsible legat office indicating intended travel to its areas of responsibility, AOR, with personnel information, the purpose of the proposed travel, and as much detail as possible. Oh, Christ. My airways are really playing up. We've only just gotten started as well. Jesus. 1 EC is sufficient for multiple individuals travelling to the same AOR for the same purpose. In addition to the legat office, leads should also be set to the region-specific operational unit in the Office of International Operations, OIO, for informational purposes. See Intranet FBI web pages for legat, AORs, and OIO operational units. The Security Division to request passage of the traveller's clearances to the respective embassies, and to CIRG at SIOC for the purpose of requesting inclusion on the SIOC Foreign Travel Report. 2. Completion and submission of an electronic country clearance, ECC request, for the Department of State, DOS Internet. https://ecc.state.gov. Step-by-step instructions on how to complete the ECC can be found on the OIO website, http://oio.fbinet.fbi/deployments. Multiple travelers can be included in the same ECC request, as long as they have the same itineraries. The travelers are responsible for completing and submitting their ECC requests via the internet. 3. Completion and submission of the Clearance Passage Worksheet to the Clearance Passage, Contractor and Law Enforcement Re-Investigations Unit, CPC-LERU. The Clearance Passage Worksheet can be found at http://secd.fbinet.fbi./ISS, cbcleru/items_clearance.htm. One worksheet can be filled out for a maximum of 10 people, and can be submitted electronically. This procedure is required to forward your clearance to the respective embassy. It should be noted that providing sufficient and relevant information in the EC will provide the legat office a thorough understanding of the proposed travel should any questions arise from the embassy. The granting of the country clearance is ultimately the responsibility of the chief of mission at that embassy, and the country clearance approval will be coordinated by the legat office. When submitting the ECC, all information should be unclassified. Thus, specific details regarding the specific purpose of travel, the operational assistance or activity to be conducted, etc., should be included only in the secure/classified environment of the FBI EC. If the purpose of your travel is sensitive in nature and submitting any information via the public domain could compromise your reason for travel, contact the legat office immediately to make the appropriate arrangements to obtain country clearance. Both the EC and the ECC are required to ensure all parties involved in the granting of country clearances and the coordination/assistance of the traveller's activities in country are fully coordinated and approved prior to the travel. Leads. Set Lead 1. Action. Miami. At Miami, Florida. Conduct all appropriate country clearance requirements regarding official travel to foreign countries as highlighted in this communication. CID/CACU concurs with travel. Set lead 2. Information. Canberra. At Canberra, Australia. Read and clear. And that's done there. Now, I should point out, point of interest. This could be Virginia Giuffre. I don't know if she changed her name when she moved to Australia, but she did move to Australia in her adult life. Settled down, laid roots there. It is possible that this is her they're contacting, and the redaction is the civilian name, or the original name, rather than the name Virginia Giuffre. I don't know if she's changed her name or not. I do know she came forward. I don't know if she came forward with her actual name. But yeah, that's entirely possible. It's Virginia Giuffre. This document contains neither recommendations nor conclusions of the FBI. It is the property of the FBI, and is loaned to your agency. It and its contents are not to be distributed outside of your agency. Embassy of the United States of America. Office of the Legal Attaché. U.S. Consulate. Redacted. Sydney, New South Wales, 2000. Telephone redacted. File number 31EMM108062. 14th March 2011. Coordinator redacted. International Network Coordination and Support Team. INCS. Serious and Organised Crime. Australian Federal Police. Canberra, ATC, Australia. Via email. Redacted. Interview of US citizen. Redacted. Dear Mr. Redacted. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, Miami Field Office, FBI Miami, is assisting the Palm Beach Police Department in Florida with an ongoing investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, a U.S. citizen. Along with associates, Epstein is believed to have manipulated underage girls from local high schools to perform massages and sexual acts at his residence. The victims were usually recruited by other underage females, and after performing various acts were paid sums of money in the $200 to $1,000 range, I'm assuming. Investigation in Miami identified a victim named Redacted. Married name Redacted. Born Redacted. Redacted is a US citizen and the victim of a sex crime. She is not considered a subject, nor is she facing charges in the investigation described below. Oh shit. Okay. I mucked around the wheel there. It randomly moved between them. So in the investigation described below. Okay, before that, I'm just going to make sure the stream's working. Now, I'm not going to begrudge chat for being quiet. That sometimes happens, and people are happy to luck. I just want to make sure it's not an indicator of, the stream not actually running on my channel. The stream not actually... Okay, we're good. My apologies. I just wanted to double check that everything was working. That's all. Alright, let's carry on. Okay. Alright. FBI Miami believes Redacted was working at a local resort when she was approached to meet Epstein at his residence. Redacted agreed and soon began traveling with Epstein to various locations outside the state of Florida. Several witnesses have corroborated Redacted travel with Epstein. FBI Miami also has evidence Epstein paid Redacted and provided her an apartment in exchange for sex. In addition to the accounts of travel, FBI Miami has obtained a witness statement from one of Epstein's victims. This victim, who was 14 at the time of the incident, observed Epstein have sexual intercourse with Redacted, who was 17 at the time. Epstein later indicated to this victim that Redacted was in Redacted and had started a family of her own. In 2008, FBI Miami conducted investigation which determined Redacted was residing in Australia. Accordingly, FBI Miami coordinated with the FBI Legal Attaché Office in Canberra for a letter to be delivered to Redacted notifying her she was a victim of a crime. Redacted is believed by FBI Miami to currently reside at Redacted, Glenning Valley, New South Wales 2261. Telephone Redacted, email Redacted. On 03/04/2011, Redacted contacted the United States Attorney's Office, USAO, in West Palm Beach, Florida, and expressed her willingness to speak further with investigators about her activities with Epstein. In further conversations with the USAO, Redacted indicated Epstein had instructed her to have sex with numerous associates in both the United States and overseas. Redacted identified several subjects by name and indicated she had records to support her allegations. Redacted further advised she could identify several other women that were underage and had engaged in sexual situations with Epstein. Finally, Redacted agreed to meet FBI personnel to the US consulate in Sydney, Australia on Thursday, 17th March 2011 to be interviewed in detail and to provide copies of the records she possesses regarding the above investigation. Grammar in this is a bit whack, but I think that could be standard procedure with regards to, like, a police report, in a way. It's just as long as you get the meaning across, but yeah. I mean, the grammar could be a little bit better, but I think we get the meaning from this. Anyway, request of AFP. And, okay. The AFP is respectfully notified that FBI Miami intends to fly 2 agents familiar with the details of the above investigation to Sydney, Australia. These agents will meet Redacted at the US Consulate in Sydney, Australia to conduct an in-depth interview on Thursday, 17th March 2011, regarding the investigation described above. FBI personnel may contact Redacted via her mobile telephone number of Redacted for final coordination of the interview. FBI personnel will not otherwise conduct operational activity in this investigation. Please refer to the above captioned legal attaché file number when contacting this office regarding this matter. Inquiries and/or responses should be directed to Assistant Legal Attaché Redacted. Redacted office telephone number redacted, mobile telephone number redacted, or email address redacted. It is requested that written responses be sent via email. As always, your assistance in this matter is greatly appreciated. Sincerely yours, Redacted. Legal Attache by Redacted. Assistant Legal Attache. Was it attaché? Attache? I don't speak French. Anyway, that's the end of that one. So yeah, talks between the FBI in America and, Australia for permission to do that. Anyways, where is it? No, okay, I might have seen that previously. So the redactions here, it looks like it's mainly to protect personal identities of investigators and victims for obvious reasons. Yeah. There has been a lot of criticism with these files of heavy redactions, specifically with suspects. I think if it's an ongoing investigation, I completely understand why certain things are redacted, but, I can understand the frustration as well. But in this case, it is mainly to protect victim identity as well. Now, I have heard there are methods to sort of unredact certain things. I can't seem to be able to do that here. And indeed, because it involves victim and investigation personal information, I'm not going to. Anyway, next file. God, my throat was absolutely fine throughout the day, and it's just the moment I stream, I suddenly get a rough sensation in the throat. It happens sometimes. Well, if I need to, I'll go grab some more water. I've only got the one water bottle. I thought I would only need the one water bottle, and then I start, and I'm like, God damn, my throat hurts. Anyway, no, that will not stop me. That will not stop me from carrying on. Precedence, routine, date 03/22/2011. To Criminal Investigative. Attention, Redacted, Violent Crime Section, CAC Unit. International Operations, attention, Redacted, Asia Unit. Miami, attention, Redacted, Squad PB2. So, yeah, these are different branches, different crimes, covering this massive criminal ring, essentially. Because they were, they're doing more than sex crimes, unfortunately. From Canberra, Sydney Sub-Office, contact Redacted, approved by Redacted. I think there's two names in there, likely. Redacted, drafted by Redacted there. Case ID number 31EMM108062, pending. Title, Jeffrey Epstein, Redacted, Ghislaine Maxwell, WSTA, child prostitution. Now, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, these are two of the known people primarily involved in the sex trafficking ring. Who are these two names? Are they victims? Are they associates? Why do we have the redaction here? Because, you would think if two perpetrators are here, these two would also be perpetrators. If they were victims, perhaps, I would have separated Epstein and Maxwell, put them in a separate paragraph, and put these two in another paragraph, if they're victims. So it makes me think that these two are involved. Anyway. Synopsis. To document liaison and investigation in Australia, and to cover lead set in reference serial. Reference 31E MM108062 serial 235. Details on 03/12/2011. In reference serial, Miami provided an overview of caption matter and advised redacted, protect identity. A victim of caption subjects currently resides in Australia. On 03/04/2011, Redacted had contacted the United States Attorney's Office in West Palm Beach, Florida, to express willingness to provide information pertinent to captioned matter. An interview of Redacted was subsequently arranged to occur at the US Consulate in Sydney, Australia. Miami conducted coordination for Redacted and Redacted to travel to Sydney to conduct the interview of Redacted. Miami sent a lead in reference serial for Canberra to facilitate the interview of Redacted in Australia. On 03/14/2011, Canberra developed a letter to the Australian Federal Police, AFP, advising of an FBI interview of Redacted to take place at the US Consulate in Sydney, Australia, on 03/17/2011. The writer contacted Redacted, Coordinator, AFP International Network, Coordination and Support Team, via telephone and confirmed AFP awareness and concurrence for this interview. On 03/16/2011, Sydney sub-office personnel briefed Redacted on logistical arrangements made for the interview of Redacted. On 03/17/2011, Redacted conducted the interview of Redacted at the US Consulate, Sydney. Following the interview, Redacted advised the writer Redacted had photos at her residence which could be pertinent to captioned matter. Redacted was willing to be further interviewed at her residence and provide the photos. Proper photo evidence of the victims, that's what we need. On 03/17/2011, the writer telephonically contacted Redacted regarding FBI agents conducting a further interview of Redacted at her residence. Redacted concurred with this course of action. The writer, Redacted, then travelled to Redacted residence, Redacted, Glenning Valley, New South Wales, Australia, completed the additional interview and obtained the relevant photos. Canberra covered the lead set in reference serial. Leads. Set lead 1, info, all receiving officers, read and clear. Now, ladies and gents, my apologies for this. I think I need to go down, get a hot drink, bring it up, and clear my throat, because you heard at the start I was really struggling. This has just randomly come on. I promise this is no ill action or bad thing on behalf of any of these powerful people that I'm probably pissing off by doing this. I just need to clear my throat a little bit more. I will be very, very quick. I'll be back. It will only be like a couple of minutes. Unfortunately, I don't have a hold screen for now, so we're just going to go. My hold screen, I'll move the chair back. I'll see if a cat sits on the chair. That can be your entertainment while I'm away. I'll be right back. We are back. My apologies, everybody. What not to do on a stream. Anyway, hopefully my throat will be clearing up at least, because that was not a good start. Anyway, we've now done this far. We're going to move on to the next. After a drink. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Title: You, Delta Serial Redacted. Date: 11/25/2010. Drafted by... Missing. Case ID number 31E-MM108062. You, Epstein, Jeffrey. Redacted. If this is another person here, these two redactions here are very short. So whoever this is, they have a shortish name. Because that could be another... unless it's Jeffrey Epstein's middle names or something like that, which wouldn't surprise me. The elites like to have more than one middle name. But this could be somebody else. Whoever it is, they have a short-ass name. Details: Unclassified Federal Bureau of Investigation, CHS reporting document, form classification, unclassified, source ID, redacted. Date: 2010-11/26. Case agent name, redacted. Field office, Jacksonville Squad. 10, date of contact. Field office, Jacksonville Squad 10. Date of contact, 2010-11/15. Participants/witnesses, essay, redacted. Type of contact, in person. Location, country, United States. City, Jacksonville. State, Florida. Date of report, 2010-11/26. Substantive case file number 31E-MM108062. Source reporting. Source information received to date on redacted. Refer to Miami Division on 11/26/2010. RE 31E-MM108062. Unclassified. And that's it for that number. Okay, we've got another one. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Title: You, Delta Serial, redacted. Date: 11/25/2010. Drafted by... Missing. Case ID number 31E-MM108062. You, Epstein, Jeffrey, and redacted. Details: Unclassified Federal Bureau of Investigation CHS reporting document. Form classification, unclassified. Source ID, redacted. Date: 2010-11/26. Case agent name, redacted. Field office, Jacksonville. Squad 10. Date of contact, 2010-11/12. Participants, witnesses, essay, redacted. Type of contact, in person. Location, country, United States. City, Jacksonville State, Florida. Data report, 2010-11/26. Substantive case file number 31E-MM108062. Source reporting. Source information received to date on redacted. Refer to Miami Division RE 31E-MM108062 on 11/26/2010. Unclassified. Now, as you get into police reports and court documents, as we sort of discovered last time, you will get a lot of repeats and a lot of stuff that sounds the same. So yeah, just brace yourself for that if you're, assuming you're religiously watching these streams, which nobody is. But you know, just take and pick and do whatever you need with these. That's I don't expect people to watch these religiously at all. Indeed, I would be very very worried if you did. Anyway, our next one. Okay, Astoria, Queens. That's this at the top. We got redacted at the top here. Cell, redacted. Address, redacted. Astoria, NY 11106. Now, is cell talking about a cell phone? Or a prison cell? Who knows? Oh, God. Okay. Scrolling down is a little bit awkward as it sort of jumps to a new page. In fact, a single page, no, I'll review it as continuous. There we go. That's a better setting. So, scroll down. These are entirely redacted pages. Redacted. In fact, let me count. I should really start doing this, actually. You would have thought I learned. So this is file 5719. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8 redacted files there. 8 including 19. So all of that is redacted. Why is it redacted? We don't know. U.S. Department of Justice, United States Attorney, Southern District of New York. The Silvo J. Mollo Building, 1 St. Andrews Plaza, New York, New York, 10007. July 5th, 2019. RE, Grand Jury Subpoena. Please be advised that the accompanying grand jury subpoena has been issued in connection with an official criminal investigation of a suspected felony being conducted by a federal grand jury. The government hereby requests that you voluntarily refrain from disclosing the existence of the subpoena to any third party. While you are under no obligation to comply with our request, we are requesting you not to make any disclosure in order to preserve the confidentiality of the investigation, and because disclosure of the existence of this investigation might interfere with and impede the investigation. Moreover, if you intend to disclose the existence of this subpoena to a third party, please let me know before making any such disclosure. Thank you for your cooperation in this matter. Very truly yours, Jeffrey S. Berman. Redacted, I think there's 3 lines there, by redacted, Assistant United States Attorneys, redacted. Interesting. So, don't tip things off, essentially. As for what's being tipped off, we don't know, because that will be tipping me off. Grand Jury Subpoena, United States District Court, Southern District of New York, 2, redacted. Greetings. We command you that all and singular business and excuses being laid aside, you appear and attend before the Grand Jury of the People of the United States for the Southern District of New York at the United States Courthouse, 40 Foley Square, Room 220, in the Borough of Manhattan, City of New York, New York, in the Southern District of New York, at the following date, time, and place. Appearance date, July 24, 2019. Appearance time, 10 a.m. To testify and give evidence in regard to an alleged violation of 18 U.S.C. I don't know what that squiggly line is. 1591, 2421, 2422, 2423, and 371. And not to depart of the grand jury without leave thereof, or of the United States Attorney, and that you bring with you and produce at the above time and place the following. See attached Advice of Rights. Failure to attend and produce any items hereby demanded will constitute contempt of court, and will subject you to civil sanctions and criminal penalties, in addition to other penalties of the law. Dated, New York, New York, July 5th, 2019. GSB, Jeffrey S. Berman. Redacted. We've got unredacted words, the and York. Oh! Okay, that's a big one. York is a big one. So, the former Prince Andrew, because he's been disowned, was officially the Duke of York. This could be sent to This could be what was sent to Prince Andrew. York is a dead giveaway. So Prince Andrew is very heavily implicated in the Epstein Files. I wouldn't be surprised if my country eventually extradites him over there. He's already been disowned by the monarchy. King Charles has already said, he's up for it. He's willing to cooperate with the police, etc. I would not be surprised if we gave him up to the US. In fact, I think, and I think we should, realistically. Because he is very, very firmly caught. There is a lot of evidence against Prince Andrew, or former Prince Andrew. Was it his official name Mountbatten Windsor or something like that? I would just call him the former Prince Andrew for ease of me saying it. Assistant United States Attorneys, 1 St. Andrews Plaza, New York, New York, 10007. Telephone redacted. Yeah, the mention of word York, that is Prince Andrew, or the former Prince Andrew. Then again, of course, New York. We're dealing with New York as well as actual York. I mean, it could be New York, I suppose, come to think about it, but mention of York in a redaction, there's a good chance that's the former Prince Andrew. Advice of Rights. 1. You may refuse to answer any question if a truthful answer to the question would tend to incriminate you. 2. Anything that you do say may be used against you by the grand jury or in a subsequent legal proceeding. 3. If you have a lawyer, the grand jury will permit you a reasonable opportunity to step outside the grand jury room to consult with your lawyer if you so desire. 4. If you would like a lawyer but do not have funds to retain one, you may make an application to the United States Magistrate Judge, who will decide whether to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Next one is redacted, and this is redaction here. I think this is a picture. Why not? https www.ejustice.my.gov/wps/pa_dmv photo service /fetch image serve let image ID equals 4790 ... 6/5 2019. Well, yeah, what do you think about that? Could that be referring to Prince Andrew? Maybe not. Whew. I'm stuttering like a maniac. Okay, what do we got? Ooh, we got some partially unredacted information. So I think this is rather than AIKIA, it's A/K/A redacted. This I think is a nickname because it's in quotation marks. Sister of redacted. Is that Yonkers, New York? Could be Yonkers, New York. I've heard that Yonkers, New York is a place purely because I'm an AEW fan and a huge fan of Eddie Kingston, because he's from Yonkers, New York, apparently. That could be Yonkers, New York. I don't know. If there's any Americans that want to clarify that, please do. Because I am not American, I don't know a damn thing about America. Unfortunately. Sounds like a wonderful place. Okay. A/K/A, redacted, sister of, redacted, same thing. Cell number, redacted. They haven't 100% done that. Okay, I'll do this first and then I'll go for the notes. Address, redacted. Yonkers, NY, 10705. Okay, so this is probably referring to a cell number in that case. I mean, that's what the hash there is. But a cell phone number, because called will call back with time to meet. So, annotations. They've called this number, essentially. So, we've discovered it's not a prison cell. It is an actual cell phone number. NYPD, pass in a vehicle accident, 11/18, 4C, 9C, 090, tab summons is 705. E-Justice, all NEG included, free. Odd annotations, but I guess you'd have to be part of... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I need to keep putting this as continuous. It's a strange way it's being formatted. Okay. E-Justice NY Integrated Justice Portal, page 101. E-Justice Integrated Justice Portal. So, DMV photo request. I guess, I'll read this. E-Justice NY Integrated Justice Portal, yep, people, DMV photo system, DMV photo request, plus feedback. DMV photo request, DMV photo. Subject information, name, redacted. Client ID, redacted. Case number, redacted. DMV transaction number, 1147992. DMV transaction date / time, 2019-0606, 11:41:34, 840. And back. About site maps, site policies, June 6th, 2019, 11:41 AM EDT. And this is redacted at the bottom. That's likely a web address. 6/6/2019. That's redacted. There's one redaction, 2 redactions, 3 redactions, 4 redactions, 5 redactions, 6 redactions. 6 fully redacted pages. I mean, we just have the photo ID and stuff in the DMV. This could be an interview transcript that's being fully redacted. It could be just more identifying information on top of the DMV stuff. I don't know. But this is... I would want to say it's more likely interview transcription in a way, or it's all essentially as part of this folder. So called will call back with time to meet. It could just be transcripts which are currently redacted to not reveal the victim's information, or because it's like an ongoing investigation. If it's an ongoing investigation, I mean, first of all, why the fuck is it taking so long? But secondly, they need to keep things hidden in order for that in order to protect the integrity of the investigation. That's classic police and intelligence gathering procedure, really. As much as I hate the fact that so much of this is redacted. Anyway, next file. We're doing well. Okay. This looks weird. It looks like just a bunch of random scribblings. Okay. Let's move it to continuous. Rotate. What do we hear? No good. Redacted, redacted, redacted. So this could be just some random doodling on a page, or something else. Could be during an interview. I guess we'll find out. This is all attached as the sort of same file, so we'll carry on. Okay, Patrick Lawson, General Manager. Redacted photo, redacted things here. New York, New York, 10003, cell redacted. That's a very poorly scanned page. Redacted page 101. File, colon, / C. Ooh, colon, / users, / redacted. This is probably the name of whoever's computer is this. App data, / local, / Microsoft, / Windows, / temporary, percentage 20, internet 20. 7/2/2019. Okay, redacted, 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 redacted. That was about 8 redacted pages there. Yeah, I can only speculate what's appearing on there. Is it interview transcripts or something? Unfortunately, we don't have... The only context we have is just the previous ID and the folder name. It could be that's interview transcripts or stuff that which, identify victims too much. But in that case, why redact the whole page? Why redact the whole page? Unless, of course, mentioning the acts tip off the powerful people that committed them. Because there's a lot of people that are probably involved in this that have not yet faced justice. So yeah, what is in these pages? I really want to know that. U.S. Department of Justice, United States Attorney, Southern District of New York. The Silvio J. Mollo Building, 1 St. Andrews Plaza, New York, New York, 10007. July 5th, 2019. RE Grand Jury Subpoena. Please be advised that the accompanying Grand Jury Subpoena has been issued in connection with an official criminal investigation of a suspected felony being conducted by a federal grand jury. The government hereby requests that you voluntarily refrain from disclosing the existence of the subpoena to any third party. While you are under no obligation to comply with our request, we are requesting you not to make any disclosure in order to preserve the confidentiality of the investigation, and because disclosure of the existence of this investigation might interfere with and impede the investigation. Moreover, if you intend to disclose the existence of this subpoena to a third party, please let me know before making any such disclosure. Thank you for your cooperation in this matter. Very yours truly, Jeffrey S. Berman, United States Attorney, by several redactions here. I want to say 3 or 4 lines. Assistant United States Attorneys, 212-637-2415. Interesting, I think that was redacted in the last one. All right. Yeah. So what do I think about this? I mean, in 2019, this was still part of an active investigation. So that's the official reason why they're requesting redactions. Is that investigation still going on 6-7 years down the line? Yeah. So what do I think about it? Don't know. Who knows? Anyway. Let's turn that off, just making sure everything's still working. We're good. Alright. Moving on. Advice of rights. 1. You may refuse to answer any question if a truthful answer to the question would tend to incriminate you. 2. Anything that you do say may be used against you by the grand jury or any subsequent legal proceeding. 3. If you have a lawyer, the grand jury will permit you a reasonable opportunity to step outside the grand jury room to consult with your lawyer, if you so desire. 4. If you would like a lawyer but do not have funds to retain one, you may make an application to the United States Magistrate Judge, who will decide whether to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Okay. Again, I repeat, as I say, we do have a few of these coming. Grand Jury Subpoena. United States District Court, Southern District of New York, to redacted. Greetings. We command you that all and singular business and excuses being laid aside, you appear and attend before the Grand Jury of the People of the United States for the Southern District of New York at the United States Courthouse, 40 Foley Square, Room 220 in the Borough of Manhattan, City of New York, New York, in the Southern District of New York at the following date, time, and place. Appearance date, July 24, 2019. Appearance time, 10 a.m. To testify and give evidence in regards to an alleged violation of 18 U.S.C. numbers 1591, 2421, 2422, 2423, and 371. And not to depart the grand jury without leave thereof, or of the United States Attorney, and that you bring with you and produce at the above time and place the following. See attached advice of rights. Failure to attend and produce any items hereby demanded will constitute contempt of court and will subject you to civil sanctions and criminal penalties, in addition to other penalties of the law. Dated, New York, New York, July 5th, 2019. Redacted, although there's a decent signature there. That says AR. Rest, don't know. Some big letters, though. Some that appears over the top, some at the bottom. Jeffrey S. Berman, United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Redacted. Assistant United States Attorney, 1 St. Andrews Plaza, New York, New York, 10007. Telephone, 212-637-2415. Hello, Clara. Here's my little kitty. We might have a guest appearance again. Oh, no, she's going behind the PC. Hello. Now, what are you doing? Oh, no, she's coming in front of the PC now. What are you doing? No, that's not. Oh, this bag of treats. You're interested in this bag of treats right here. Well, unfortunately, I've got the bag in my pocket, which you can't access. But you can be a good kitty. And I might... Oh, hello, Dexter. You want to join us too? He's a good boy. Well, I tell you what, let me give my cat some treats. Okay. Watch the tail. There we go. There's the tail. I swear I'm not lying when I say the cat's jumping up on the desk. Now, you've just seen Clara so far. Dexter likes to jump up here as well. He just jumped up and he went down underneath my mic. So this could be quite complicated. All right. Oh, no. Dexter is also up here. Jolly good. Well, let's see if I can get them to move over to this side. Here we go. Here we go, Dexter. Clara. Okay, fucking hell, they're fighting. No. Okay, guys. Hey. I've got one hand here for one cat, one hand here for the other cat. Dexter, you need to play ball. There we go. One there. Look. No. Not for you, Clara. Dexter, stop being a twat. Hey. What's this? What's that? There you go. 2 treats each. There we go. There you go. Temporarily mollified kittens. You love to see it. Anyway. Where the fuck was I? Anyway, I think I just narrated that part. Okay. Clara, you're coming in front of my PC again. You are now blocking my webcam. Now, Clara, sit here. No, I've set a mat aside for you to sit right next to me here. Let's get you away from the webcam and no longer blocking the monitor. Yeah, sit there. There's a good kitty. Sorry about this. No. No, you don't want to go back down the back there again. No, Clara, fucking hellcat. Because I remember you fell down the back of that desk and you weren't happy about it. There you go. You're all... Little gremlins. Anyway, next page. 1 redaction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 fully redacted pages. Not even a hint of what's going on. They've just redacted the entire thing. So what that is, I do not know. These could be in relation to the court summons here. These could be related to like things that are required, because they do refer to bring with you all this stuff at the following time. Maybe that's that kind of stuff. Clara, stop going in there. Move, cat. She keeps running in front of my PC. You'll probably just see the top of her tail when she comes past sometimes, but now she's behind one of my monitors. All right. If you get too distracting, Clara, I'm just gonna kick you out the office. Anyway, next file. Okay, at the top here, what we got is NYS. I think that's either a PIP or a DID. It looks a bit like a P at the bottom. Stay at home. Redacted. 11 a.m. 7/31/2019. Starbucks. 43rd 8th Avenue. I assume that's a New York address. Oh, shit. There we go. Okay. redacted. No, minor arrests, redacted. Cell, redacted, redacted. Redacted. NYSDID, redacted. Oh, hang on. Queens/Manhattan, that's what it says here. SSN, redacted. Address, redacted. Fully redacted. Now, Clara, what did I say about getting trapped and falling down? What are you on? Out. Clara, you gotta move. She's standing on the damn plug. I really do not want her to unplug my PC. Anyway, address redacted on NYSDL, maybe at redacted. So they don't necessarily know the address. They're trying to find this person. Okay, 7:01:19. I think that says 01. 11:30 a.m. redacted. Casting. Oh shit. What the fuck does this say? Well, I certainly can't tell if you're in the way, Clara. Move. Move. Sit here. Stay here. Okay. I think that's casting. Something. WOSTE. Casting. Or. Yeah, I can't necessarily tell what this word says. This is terrible handwriting. Something in. Casting dash. So something related to casting. Maybe modelling or something like that. Probably not modelling. Something else related to that. But along those veins. It at the time. Oh, no. 17 at the time. Clara, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my way. Come on. Just sit still, cat. Stop going behind my monitor. So, I want to say that says 17 at the time. It looks like it could be an 11 at the time. We don't know. This writing is pretty bad. Invited to a party. Redacted works for Sony for a movie. Are you interested? Redacted in Baltimore. There's a whole crew in Puerto Rico. Nothing filmed. Redacted. So they snapped at. G acted mean? Mean, I want to say. GM put parties together. Hostess and club promoter. Or that maybe this is the role that this person had, in a way. Worked in hotel, clubs in Manhattan. Redacted. Big in 98. So, this could be referring to a person that was big in 98, or a building that was famous in 98. Possibly. And there's another redaction there. And there's another redaction there. And she was never alone with him. So him probably referring to Epstein. Clara, stay there. Just be quiet. That's all I ask. Why can't you be more like your brother? Where is your brother anyway? I don't know. He's probably causing mischief somewhere else. Okay, eJustice NY Integrated Justice Portal. eJustice NY Integrated Justice Portal. Paul Grzgorsk /NY05901SY. Leave that alone, cat. You're being on too much of the damn skooma. Alright. There we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You're alright. Stay there. Anyway, people, DMV photo section, DMV photo request plus feedback. DMV photo request, DMV photo, subject information, name, redacted, client ID, redacted, case number, redacted, DMV transaction number, redacted, DMV transaction date/time, 2019-06-06-1449, 54870. Back about sitemap site policies, June 6th, 2019, 2:49 p.m. EDT. Sorry, I've got one hand on Clara here because she loves to twat around when I'm trying to stream, or when I'm trying to record even. She's a little angel most of the time, but it's just whenever I'm streaming, she's always a gremlin. Anyway, and redacted web address at the bottom. It's alright, good girl, stay there. So, alright, how many this is another fully redacted page. So, fully redacted pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Right. Okay, and there she goes again. Clara, shift your ass. I will see if I can pick her up so I can show you what menace I'm dealing with. Hey, come here, you. Come here. No? No. Don't get too curious about my microphone. Time for you to go. Off the desk. And Dexter is being a good boy. He is sat right here. Okay. Anyway, so a bunch of redacted pages, unfortunately. These are involving like court documents and a lot of that kind of stuff, and police reports as well. I'm a bit disappointed by the lack of transparency with these. Surely some things can be like revealed, as opposed to just completely redacted pages. I think that's over the top. That's ridiculous. I understand some things need to be redacted. Surely not that much. Anyway, cat, move. Again, you're in front of my monitor. Whoop. You're okay. You're okay. There's a good girl. There's a good girl. You're okay. Now stay there. Just sit. Sit. There's a towel there. It's comfortable. You can sit on that. There you go. There's a good girl. Okay. No MYS or free history with e-justice. Cell. Redacted, and it says no ads on the bottom. SSN, redacted, address, redacted, Sleepy Hollow, NY. Huh. Westchester City, maybe? Westchester City? Yeah. I mean, I know there's a Birmingham in the US, for example. Westchester does make sense. 10591. Possible spouse, redacted, same address. MISDL address as redacted. So these are obviously folders of don't drink out of my tea. That's even worse. That's better not be hot. It's not too hot, fortunately, cat. Don't stick your nose or mouth in my tea. I need to drink it. Yes, sniff. Yeah, there's a good girl. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Alright, so yeah, it's obvious that these folders are from the FBI looking for people, looking for potential victims. Based on like, what I spoke about in a previous stream, sort of the web and the way sort of Epstein expanded is like, hey, you've got a friend or you've got an acquaintance, bring them along, let them massage me, and, the horrible stuff would ensue. It could be it's very much the same here. They're trying to investigate the web, find out, who these potential victims are, trying to talk to them, trying to get these witness accounts. So I think that's what they're doing here, like in a folder each for a potential victim, and then trying to contact them. Anyway, DMV photo, subject information, name redacted, client ID redacted, case number SI. DMV transaction number 1069006. DMV transaction date/time 2019-0605 1836 18690. Okay, we got something new here. Maybe this gives us a bit of context for the redacted photos from earlier, or redacted pages, I should say. They're not photos anymore. We're past the photos, thank God. Now Clara is messing around with my sidelight. Well, at least you're not in the way of the monitor anymore. Clara, don't do that. You'll blind yourself. Well, you won't blind yourself on that light, but it's still not nice. Anyway, last updated 1/08/2017. Request for MIS DMV photo image. 2. New York Ops Center, MIOC. Office 212-384-2921. Fax 212-384-4073 or 4074. Request to email redacted at fbi.sgov.gov. Squad C2. 0? C20? I don't know. 1. Name and rank of requester. Redacted TFO. Must be special agent or other sworn law enforcement. May not be support personnel. Name and rank of supervisor. Lieutenant, redacted, TFO supervisor. Must be supervisory special agent or other sworn law enforcement. May not be support personnel. Redacted. Subject name, redacted. 4. DMV client ID number, 9 digits, redacted. If no client ID available, include subject's DOB. 5. Reason for request, Circle 1, criminal investigation. There was also potential for warrant investigation, witness investigation, missing person investigation. Clara, leave my medicine alone. Off you go. Come on. There's a good girl. There's a good girl. Down you go. Good. Stay there. Now, Dexter, you've been very good. You can come up here. I'm sure you're less of a gremlin than your sister is. Where did she go? Oh, there you are. You okay? Okay. I need to make sure I don't move in my chair because she's under it. She's a sort of under the wheel. She's under the frame. Stupid cat. Right. 6. Extinction circumstances, if applicable. Nothing there. 7. Case number 31ENY3027571. 8. Phone number of requester. Redacted. The requester acknowledges that the requested image cannot be used as filler in a photo array. The DMV photo may only be used in an array if the subject of the DMV photo is the subject in the photo array. A new request for a photo image must be made for any unrelated criminal investigation. The digital image obtained will not be saved in the database or stored in any manner for secondary or subsequent use unrelated to the original investigation. I hereby certify that the above requested DMV photo image is relevant to an active investigation and that, to the best of my knowledge, the subject of interest possesses a driver's license, learner's permit, or non-driver identification card issued by the New York State DMV, and acknowledge that if this request was made for an impermissible purpose, I may be subject to redacted. I'm assuming this is more covering the signature than actual, what will happen if you don't do this kind of thing. Date 6/5/19, and that's here as well. Supervisor's signature redacted. Note, when the extinction circumstances exception applies, the comment section must identify the type of investigation and explain the urgency. In addition, the request for DMV photo image, extinction circumstances form must be completed and retained by the requesting agency. Jesus, cat! So if you don't know what happened, Clara was on my window ledge, and she basically headbutted the monitor as she fell. I don't think she meant to do that. One sec. Nope. Listen. Oh, now you want to get off the desk. Alright, I just want to make sure my mic still works after that. Where are you? How are you sat there? Just take a rest. Do what your brother does. Your brother is sat there. He's very comfortable. I love my cats. Must be completed and retained by the requesting agency. I have no idea if I read that bit or not. But yeah. Hang on. Let me have a look. Not so loud, please. Well, guess what? You can turn the volume down. Anyway, redacted pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 redacted pages there. Technical interruption, it certainly was. I can't believe she did that. I thought she was going to sort of lean over the webcam or something, but no. I think she tried to land on the base of my monitor and headbutted it instead. And now she's scratching my computer chair. Well, at least she's not up in front of the screen right now. Anyway, a lot of redactions in this again, I have to note. Okay, and this looks like a... Okay, Robert, what have we got here? Okay, let me just go back to the top. Continuous scrolling. Alright, this is redacted across the top. Cell redacted, home redacted, address redacted, and redacted. From DL, redacted Charlotte NC 28211, or redacted Charlotte NC 2821, and that's from a tip. Reported to have been involved with redacted, may have information. She has done some type of media interview regarding JE, and yeah, no, is a possible victim. I mean, JE is, pretty damning, I'd say, for this investigation. Clara, don't go for that bag that has my prescription medicine in it. Jesus, cat, just calm down. You can sit on my lap if you want, that's absolutely fine. Sit on my shoulder, I've not gotten you to do that yet. I swear, every time I'm streaming she does this. Alright, let's carry on. I'm losing so much time. I said, don't do that. Go on, you can chill out down there, that's absolutely fine. You also have an entire house you can run around in. You know. No shot collar for you, kitty. You can go where you like. Anyway, NJP response, page 102. Unauthorized access, reproduction, or dissemination is prohibited. Received at 0829-2019, 10:45:54 with a barcode. Sorry, she's playing with my feet now. And this is, I'm assuming this is a redacted photo. Dr. NCDCI 0000. 10:45, 0829-2019, 08353. 10:45, 0829, 2019, 05727, NY101000T2. With a star, 045179228D7. Text. Name, redacted. Residence address, redacted. Charlotte, NC, 28-211-3896. Country, United States. Date of birth, redacted. Height, 5'08". Eye color, blue. Hair color, blonde. Gender, female. Race, white. Driver license details. Driver authorization ID, redacted. Jurisdiction authority code, NC. Issue date, 2019-07-31. And now she wants my attention. I suspect it's for the treats in my pocket. https://www.ejustice.my.gov/viewmessage.jsp?msgid equals 2782898 and pager.offset equals 0. Clara, get the fuck out of the way once again. Expiration date 2027-07-01. Driver license permit quantity 0. Driver license non-commercial class C. Driver license non-commercial class code C. Licensed commercial driver no. Licensed non-commercial driver yes. Driver license non-commercial status CLSC active. CRD TRNS colon 0025 384166. Unauthorized access, reproduction, or dissemination is prohibited. https www.ejustice.my.gov/jwi/viewmessage.jsp ? MSGID equals 2782898 and pager.offset equals 0. Okay, we got some more fully redacted pages. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32 redacted pages, holy fuck. Why? Why is this all redacted? Like, that's... I think that's lazy on behalf of the DOJ. I mean, surely they can redact certain details, but I want to know what the context for this is. I mean, I'm not a US citizen, so I have no right to demand anything of the guys in the US, but I think people would agree with me when I say I want to know what this particular stuff is. I mean, the context... This is a possible victim here, and this is, like, possible details of the victim, and yet you don't want to talk about... I mean... If I could hazard a guess, I would say that this is likely an interview transcript in a way, rather than necessarily specific information related to the victim. Because, I mean, we got, like, certain random bits of information here. They have a possible address and a phone number. So, I mean, I want to say that these pages... Clara, cat, what the fuck are you doing? I want to say that this is potentially, I know, involving the contacting the victim, speaking to them, and, you know, likely if there's over 30 pages... they had a decent amount to say. I want to think it's that. And, you know, I can fully understand protecting the identity of the victims. But, you know, if you have a look here, they redact specific information. These ones, they redact entire pages. Hello again, Clara. Are you here to block the computer? No, your tail... Yep, your tail is sort of showing up on the webcam there. There. Now, sit here. Sit here. Do not move from here unless it is to go down off the desk. You cannot go in front of the desk. That is not where Kitty should be. And now you're going behind my monitor. That's a stupid place for a cat to go. Especially because it's got all wires and you have a habit of unplugging my PC. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. There you go. Okay, she's trying to sort of sidle herself towards me underneath the monitor. I should really have like a back cam, just so you can see the shit I have to deal with. And you, he's a good girl. Oh, you're right. Okay, and now she's back. All right. So that was all of that. Based on the context, I want to say that this is likely like a victim interview specifically. Although the Epstein court documents that we did in 2014, not 2014, 2024, that had a victim of Epstein, Virginia Giuffre, who did go public. So that's possibly why those ones, we got to see a lot more of that. But these could be like interview transcripts. It's what we did. It's what we saw in previous ones. There was at least the intention to interview. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting if that was unredacted, but I definitely think more of this should be unredacted right here. I think that's just lazy right there. Victim identities, fine. Wanting to preserve the integrity of your investigation, fine. But how long are you going to do this for? I mean, how long? It's been 7 years since presumably this was done. The date is 2019. 6-7 years. How long does the investigation need to take? And the fact that nobody apart from Maxwell is in prison at the moment is absolutely ridiculous. I understand this may need to be held sort of sorted out with kid gloves, but it's very, very bad optics considering you've got so many elites that are probably sending bribes and stuff and trying to hamper the investigation. I mean, Maxwell is refusing to answer. Clinton has refused to answer for so long, and it's only now that he's actually doing it. Even though there are so many photos of him with kids, it's ridiculous. And we addressed that earlier. The reason why Clinton hasn't faced as much scrutiny as I think he should is because of the lack of corroborating witness statements in a way. But here they're shown, they're trying to get in contact with witnesses. They're trying to work out what's going on. And because a lot of it is redacted, maybe there is one of these redactions they talk about Clinton and a few other powerful people. Trump may very well be in them. I do not know. But I also with these things, I just want to read it. I want to split it down the middle. I don't care about Democrat or Republican. I am not a US citizen. I care about bringing these people to justice, whoever they are, getting justice for the victims, and whoever they are, I don't care who they are, lock them up, punish them for what they've done. Make sure that people know that nobody is above the law. That's what I want to see here. Anyway, let's carry on. A lot of redactions there. Tried multiple numbers. More were good for her. 7, 30, 19. So yeah, again, more potential victims. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it doesn't go on to continuous scrolling by default, so I need to switch it back every time I click on a new one. Anyway, try multiple numbers. More were good for her. 7, 30, 19. Okay. Cell redacted. Not in service. 7, 13, 30, 19. On NYC, 0/1, maybe? Address, redacted. Astoria, NY, 11106. Check TLO for other Manhattan addresses. Confirmed they're not there. New tenant, in 2 months, either in 2 months or been there 2 months. 7/23/19. So it's a former address. Okay, e-Justice NY Integrated Justice Portal, page 101. Yeah, this is just basically the hunt and, speaking to the former victims. We don't even know if they're speaking to the former victims, really. So much of that is redacted. But here they're showing a solid effort of trying to find the victims, to have a word with them. And we saw that actually right at the start, where they contacted the consulate in Australia to get this sorted out. So that could be what they're up to. e-Justice NY Integrated Justice Portal, e-Justice Integrated Justice Portal, redacted. Yeah, they didn't cover the name last time. People, DMV photo system, DMV photo request, plus the feedback, DMV photo request, DMV photo, redacted photo. Subject information, name, redacted, client ID, redacted. Case number, 31ENY 3027175. DMV transaction number, 1182350. DMV transaction date/time, 2019-06-06-1508-20-577. Back about site map site policies, June 6th, 2019, 3:08 p.m. EDT. https //www.ejustice.ny.gov/wps/myportal exclamation mark UT slash P slash A1 slash 1ZJBD6IWFIV underscore SX98JQEI GB7BC4M3H 6 of the 6th 2019. And another one, eJustice NY Integrated Justice Portal. Same again there. People, driving records, license check plus feedback, driver's license. Inquiry and results, nothing there. Search criteria, client ID, CID, redacted. DMV driver's license. Status. Okay, this might be a bit blurry for you guys. So I'll try and read it as best I can. Less blurry for me, though, which is a problem we had when doing the photos. Status, valid, non-CDL. License class D, expiration 07/21/2025. Name, redacted. Client ID, redacted. Birth date, redacted. Sex, female. Height, 5'6". Eye color, brown. License detail, okay, there's nothing else there. That's all merged into each other. Address, redacted. Astoria, New York, 11106. County, Queens. DMV driver's license, okay, that's what that says there. MIS parole, no hit. MIS probation, no hit. MIS order of protection, no hit. MIS/NCIC person, NAN, NAN. MIS person response, no hit. MIC person response, no hit. Transaction ID, 3DCBA 363-888E. -11E-A4B0-202020202511. Okay, and over this side, submitted 06/06/2019, 03:06 PM by redacted. Search criteria, client ID, CID, redacted. Status, valid, non-CDL. The cat is literally now trying to climb up the wall, probably chasing her own shadow. License class D, expiration 07/21/2025. Date, redacted. Client ID, redacted. Birth date, redacted. Sex, female. Height, 5'6". Eye color, brown. Address, redacted. Astoria, New York, 11106. County, Queens. Motorist ID, redacted. Image captured, 10/11/2012. Kept. Activity information, school bus driver status, S19A, not applicable. Transaction ID, 3DCBA 363-888E 11E9A4B0-202020202511. That's June 6th, 2019, 3:06 PM EDT. About some outside policies. Okay. I'm not even American and I hate the DMV now. This is complicated. Oh dear. https://www.ejustice.ny.gov/wps/myportal UT/P/A1/1ZJBL5OWFIV_YZZ4MHY1Y, NGELXRVUH ... 6/6/2019. Alright, more fully redacted pages. Let's count them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 fully redacted pages for that witness. Again, don't necessarily know what it is. Is it an interview? Is it further details? We don't know. We should know. But, you know, protecting the victims, protecting the integrity of the investigation, okay. In this context, I can understand that. You know, there's probably a lot there, but yeah, it's frustrating that we don't see this. So all I've got to say is this had better bear fruit. We had better see something come from this. Because I believe the Epstein files were to be fully disclosed, and that has not happened. No, it has not. Cat. Basically sniffing my other monitor. At least she's not trying to do any dare-defying stunts. And as for Dexter, my male cat, this is a good boy. He's just sat by the door. He's chilling on the carpet. He's not moving. He's happy to rest and observe. He will deserve a treat later, but I can't show either of my cats special treatment. Oh. I might try and lift him up later, but he's not been the most receptive to that. Maybe he has bad memories of me taking him to the vet. I made a post about that from a couple of months back. You should have a look at it. My arm got shredded by him. Anyway, this is another one. Okay, redacted at the top. Cell, redacted. Used on, redacted. Place of business, redacted. I'm assuming this is the name at the top with a file for them. SSN, address, redacted. Astoria, NY 11103. Oh, Jesus. Okay, here we go again. Continuous scrolling. Okay, we got a bit more here. 7/31/19. Redacted. DAB redacted. Shown photo. Unknown to her. Redacted high school in Brazil. And that was 2001 to 2002. Okay. Oh no, 18 years to 20 years. Okay, she was 18 years to 20 years when this happened. That was 2001 to 2002. Moved back to US, NY. After that, I'm assuming. San Diego in 21. Maybe 21 probably being her age. Back to NYC 2005. Okay. This is one of the older girls. Alright, we got some more redacted, completely redacted pages. Let's once again count them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all that. Right, 6 redacted pages. But, you know, we've got some information written down on there. It makes me think that these are sort of interview transcripts, if they're able to get that information, like specifics of how old were you when you were with Epstein, when did you move to New York, when were you in Brazil, that kind of thing. It makes me think that these redacted pages, they were having a conversation with the victim of some kind, either to confirm details or just an outright sit-down interview. Anyway, eJustice NY Integrated Justice Portal, page 101. eJustice NY Integrated Justice Portal, redacted. What does that say? I think that says 515Y, maybe? Quite possibly. Something at the end there. Or 015Y. I'm not sure. People, DMV Photo System, DMV Photo Book plus feedback. DMV Photo Request. Okay, that's redacted. DMV Photo, subject information, name redacted, client ID redacted, case number 31ENY3027175. DMV transaction number 116-847-8491. DMV transaction date and time 2019-06-06-1344-13513. So presumably, like, they're all dated and timed around the same point. So presumably they were all requested and the DMV just sent them at the same time or something. Or just got an automatic hit for it. It could be an automated system, I don't know. Could that be a case of government competence? I don't know. Back. About sitemap site policies. June 6, 2019, 1:44 p.m. EDT. And... oh, fuck it, I'll do this as well. https://www.ejustice.my.gov/wps/myportal/!qt/p/ai /JY_AEW_JQU30W1EHJDY1QTLI 6/6/2019. And we got some more fully redacted pages. We'll count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fully redacted pages there. Now we had, unusually, we had more redacted pages previously as well, so this could be, if this whole thing is meant to be a folder with a victim, I want to say it's probably interview stuff, but if it's interview stuff, it's very, very annoying that so much of it is redacted. Like, you can redact personal information and stuff as well, but the people want to know exactly what's going on. And, I mean, I'm very glad that I got the scrapbook, at least. It was a ridiculously vile thing to read, but I think if anyone tries to downplay the Epstein stuff, show them that, because, whew, yeah, there is no hiding the mentality of that man. And yeah, as I say, he's dead. Maximus still alive. I say shake her for everything she has. She will talk eventually. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Okay. This folder looks like a dogshit scam. Redacted, DOB redacted. What else have we got here? Okay. Once again, continuous scrolling. It was like that by default previously. It's so annoying. Anyway, okay, collect print page 1 or 2. Okay. That is Connecticut State Police. Collect person query results. Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection. 1111 County Club Road, Middletown, CT 06457. Date 2019-0702. Time 21:55. User PSC 01332. ORI CTC SP0051. Production server C, i.e. Edge. Search criteria. Operator license redacted. Expanded DOB search. Agencies intended to be searched. Please note, actual agencies searched may differ. Collect DMV, NCIC, prawn, and weapons. Search results. Driver license info for redacted, CT redacted. I'm assuming that's a redacted photo. Driver license number redacted. State CT. Expiration date DD MMM MY. 14 Oct 20 Class D. Renew 02 October 14th. Status valid. Displayed as the most recent image from DMV records, which may differ from credential presented. DMV image is restricted to law enforcement purposes. Law enforcement purposes. I need to... Yeah. And shall not be saved, disclosed, or used in photo array or photo lineup. Yeah, sorry, it's moving to a new line. Sometimes it sounds a little bit weird. Okay. Oh, there was a new thing in the chat. I will finish the rest of this page, and then I'll take a look at it. In fact, I'll finish the rest of this whole doc, and then I'll take a look at the chat. So my apologies if I don't answer immediately. License endorsement, but I will answer. License endorsement, nothing there. Restrictions B. Susp date, nothing there. Susp status, nothing there. Susp item affected, nothing there. Commercial lick status, none issued. PPTP status, none issued. Cancel status, redacted. Cancel date, redacted. Cancel state, redacted. Medical certification, redacted. Certification expiration, no, it's not redacted, sorry. There's nothing there for any of this. Expiration, federal variance, skill performance evaluation, self-certification, organ donor code. Okay, there's one there. Organ donor. Yeah, they are an organ donor. Pending at... Pending at withdrawal, maybe? DUP issued, 00. Operator full name, sex, height, eye color. Nothing there. I'm not going to bother reading the link at the bottom anymore. Oh, I can read the chat after this, I suppose. Redacted. DOB. Redacted. F. 503. Eye color blue. Street redacted. City New Canaan. Country, is that Utah? I don't know. I mean, it just said Connecticut, I suppose. County, nothing there. State, CT, zip 06840. Zip X, nothing there. Residential address, nothing there. Street, city, county, state, zip extension, nothing there. Romulus Black says, "Hey man, glad I get to say hi. I love your Billy Bob Space Trucker series. Keep up what you're doing, man." Oh, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. And yeah, Billy Bob, that's a good favourite of mine. Actually, I really enjoyed reading that. And what's great about that was it was sort of the day it debuted, or like it was a few days before it debuted. I'd actually finished recording the series. So when I debuted the series, for members, I basically just released the entire series for everybody. And that was perfect timing, really. Oh, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, great fun to do. I like to think I've kept the madness up in Galactic High, but obviously I need to keep writing that, and things have been very, very busy for me. Oh, how long have we been going for? 1.5 hours. I think we made reasonable progress. This will take several streams to get through all of this, but I think now that we're going for documents, I think we've been breezing through them reasonably well. Here's a good girl, and you're now sat on the towel of the sort of mat I've got for you on the side. That's good. Clara has now calmed down. She's no longer going to distract me. No, she probably will though. Oh, hello, Dexter. And Dexter is just lying, just straight up like that, on the carpet by the door. That's not to say he's been ignored. He really isn't. Anyway, let's carry on. Okay. HTTPS :/collect.cjis.ct.gov/collect/JSP/common/print context.jsp 7/2/2019. Okay, we got some more fully redacted pages here. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fully redacted pages. Alright, next one. Redacted. Cell redacted. Email redacted. Address redacted. From tip, Jupiter FL, possibly Florida, 33458. From FLDL, S/A/above. FL redacted. License number redacted. Works at redacted. Palm Beach Gardens, FL 33410. Okay, do we have anything else there? Let's take a look. Alright, narrative from tip number 259. Tipster submitted the following. Redacted was a big part of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. The FBI mistakenly gathered information about her, redacted, because redacted stole her redacted driver's license to enter Epstein's property. Redacted gave massages and then recruited younger girls as she got older. Redacted may be a victim or she may be a criminal. Redacted has a lot of information about the Epstein case, but she denies it. Redacted resides at redacted Jupiter, Florida, 33458. Email address, redacted. Works as a redacted at redacted and cell phone redacted. Interesting. So it's sad really. The web of sort of introducing like girls or trafficking victims introducing their friends. You know, the friends may be resentful of the person that introduced them in the first place. And this could be very well where that, an example of that. Anyway, okay, we got some more redacted pages here. So how many redacted pages? We got one. Okay, one fully redacted page there. And then we've got NJP response, unauthorized access, reproduction or dissemination is prohibited, received at 0903-2019, 174703. A redacted photo. DR redacted. 1747 0903-2019 00000 1747 0903-2019 00061 NY 101000T2 redacted text redacted. Okay, Jupiter FL 33458 Wellington FL 33414 type lick licensee operator DOB redacted HT 508 race W sex F current license issued 07/29/2011 expires 09/16/2019 Rep LIC issued 08/11/15 valid license SOC sec redacted, and that's redacted there. This information should only be used as authorization by Florida statute section 119.0712 to C. 1. Emergency contact information contained in a motor vehicle record is confidential and exempt from S 119.071 and S 24A. Article 1 of the State Constitution. 2. Without the express consent of the person to whom such emergency contact information applies, the emergency contact information contained in a motor vehicle record may be released only to law enforcement agencies for purpose of contacting those listed in the event of an emergency. Okay, https www.ejustice.my.gov/jwi/viewmessage.jsp (msgid equals 2788365 and pager.offset equals 0. Emergency contact information. Redacted. Wellington FL 33414. Okay, the first redaction is apparent. It's all the way across the page. Home NA, work NA, cell, nothing there. Redacted. Parent. Redacted, Palm Beach Guns, Florida 33410. Home, redacted, work NA, cell, nothing there, redacted. End of DTL/DHS-MV response. Unauthorized access, reproduction, or dissemination is prohibited. Okay, that's the same one. I'm not going to do that again. Anyway, more redacted pages. 1, 2. Okay, we can do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. I'll do it this way. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 17. 17 redacted pages. What is in them? And more importantly, if we go back to the top, who do those pages cover? Do they cover the person that made this tip, which could be one of the other victims, or do they cover the person the tip is about? We don't know. Right. But that's not the end of the data set by any stretch. In fact, what one was I just on? Shit. I lost my place. There we go. Okay. 5855. I'm going to load up a bunch more, and then I'm going to look at the chat again. 5855. Yeah, 5855 is the next one. Yeah, I do not want to miss anything. 5855. Okay, yeah, and we barely scratched the surface of these as well. Okay, so I'll go to 6055 then. Let's see what we get. All right. Okay, chat. Fair. Take your time. You're one of the few channels I've been introduced to that doesn't use AI voiceover. Thanks for what you do. Yeah, thank you very much. I hate AI voiceovers. A lot of those channels are getting demonetized or banned. I think a few of them are starting to realize it, and they're basically bricking it, and they're trying to come up with other measures. But as for me, I love doing what I do. I'm happy to keep going. I'm happy to be a human voice. I'm happy to keep entertaining people while they're driving, while they're at work, while they're at school. Whatever. I'm happy to keep reading. I'm happy to keep entertaining you guys. It's just this Epstein stuff is a bit of a pivot because it's less serious. It's not less serious. It's far more serious than what I normally do. It's, unfortunately, non-fiction. And it's serious stuff. But I think it's very important that this is documented. And also, I did drunkenly promise that I would narrate the entire thing. And I am a man of my word. It's just I'm not going to do it all in one go, because ain't no way I'm going to do that. Anyway, let's carry on. Now, I should say I will likely end the stream possibly around the 3-hour mark, possibly sooner if I'm not feeling if my throat starts to die or whatever, which has happened the last couple of streams. Normally streams last about 2 to 3 hours. And it's just, if I'm clearly struggling with the late time, then, I'll just, carry on the fight another day. It's not a problem. At the moment, we're at 1:43:15. My throat is a little bit rough, but I think we've made very, very good progress, despite the fact that there's still a lot of these files to go. But overall, I'm also on top of my workload, so I have had the opportunity to relax, and I think I want enough spare time to be able to do Galactic High as well, because, I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling up for carrying on with that. All right, sorry, enough distractions, enough waffling. Let's go on. A/arrow/A. Oh, that was Dexter. You okay? You can come up here as well, In fact, I want the people to see you, because you've seen Clara, you've not seen Dexter. At least not live, anyway. Well, sometimes you've seen him sort of in the corner at the door or something, but yeah. Anyway, redacted, bunch of redactions. Okay, no longer her, possibly at the address 11417. I'm assuming that's a zip code. Redacted. Received redacted 319 in QNS 05 Grey Nissan redacted. So yeah, these are obviously still trying to identify potential victims. Oh, continuous scrolling. There we go. So, more fully redacted pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 fully redacted pages in that one file. Yeah. And I think if you remember what I said at the start, there are a total of 2,615 listings. Sadly, a lot of them I'm not going to be able to do, as much as I want to be able to bring as much of this to light as possible. And you can hear Dexter meowing. Now, they haven't been neglected at all. They've had plenty of food. They've had plenty of water. So yeah, they like to sort of chirp and make noises at each other. They sort of started to do that as they grew slightly older. I've had them for, I'd say it's been about 3 months actually. Yeah, they're great, and they're very much grown into their own. But they're not, they're not afraid. They're not, hiding or anything, and they're not ill or anything like that. Sometimes I worry. I worried the first couple of times they started meowing, but that's just something they use to communicate with one another. So that's fine. Everything's above board with those two. But I'm so paranoid about keeping them healthy, though. I will admit. It's just, if I hear something, I'll just suddenly stop recording, just rush down. Oh, turns out you're actually just playing. That's fine. That kind of thing. I think I'll get used to it eventually. Anyway, I need to stop waffling. I need to stop, my mind just wants to do anything but this, but, I've got to do it. Gotta go and carry on. Anyway, redacted. Bronville, I think that says. SSN redacted. Address redacted. Bronxville, NY 10708. Westchester City. Has lived in Astoria, QNS. So when people says I'm from the Bronx, Bronxville, that's probably it. Anyway, no DL, 50 state, no NYS or third or NYPD. The cell numbers redacted all over. 911 calls. Cab-driven disputes. 0809. Spouse redacted. Same address as that. Sister redacted. Astoria NY 11102. And that's redacted as well. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. Alright. Here we got some more redacted pages. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 redacted pages, and that's the end of that file. Look, I mean, these redactions are making my job easy in this case. But I don't want my job to be easy. I want to be able to, expose as much of this as I can, show the seriousness of this, and ensure that the victims get their justice and that justice is brought to those perpetrators. Sadly, we can't do that with redacted pages, but, if it's to protect the integrity of an investigation, and the FBI and Department of Justice are actually being truthful about that, fine. Protecting victim identities, absolutely gotta be done. We saw what happened to Virginia Giuffre. She was a very brave woman, but unfortunately she had a lot of harassment from Maxwell's legal team, I think, as well. And I think all of it would have built up to just, her being unable to cope. And yeah, even though she said she's not suicidal, I do believe there's a good chance she was brought to the brink, which is very, very sad. And especially reading her testimony in the witness statements, I very much identify with her cause. And that's why I just said then and there that I would just donate everything to that charity, like the moment I can. And I stick with that pledge today. Anyway, next file. Okay. A/K/A, redacted. Again, with the quotation marks, that is a nickname. A few of these girls had nicknames either among each other, perhaps among the traffickers themselves, Epstein and his crew. Redacted. Warwick, New York. I think that's Warwick, New York, yeah. So that's redacted. Continue with scroll. Okay. And then we have A/K/A, redacted again. This is the same top. SSN redacted. Address redacted. Warwick, NY 10990, Orange City. Cell redacted. Is not the wrong number, or it is the wrong number. Don't know, there's a cross out there. Vehicle 16 Subaru, white, NY redacted. Next page. Redacted sister of redacted. So this is the process of them trying to identify the victims. Again. https://www.ejustice.ny.gov/wps/pa_dmv photo service/fetch image servlet image ID equals 4790 ... 6th of the 5th 2019. Okay, with more redacted pages. Again, I'm not very amused by this, but I can understand if the authorities are being truthful here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and it's 11. 11 redacted pages for that potential victim. Alright, next one. Redacted, DOB redacted. That's a crappy ass scam. Okay, NJP response. Unauthorized access, reproduction, or dissemination is prohibited. Page 101. Received at 07/02/2019, 1937/08. Redacted photo. Doctor redacted. 1937/07/02/2019, 24038. 1937/07/02/2019, 00336, NY10100T2, 0420470034. Text redacted. Okay, and both of these are Palm Beach, Florida 33480. And type LIC Class C operator DOB redacted HT 510 race height 510 race W sex F. Current license issued 06/29/2009, expired 06/29/2010. Expired license SOC SEC redacted and redacted. End of DTL/DHMV response. Unauthorized access, reproduction, or dissemination is prohibited. https://www.ejustice.ny.gov/jwi/viewmessage.jsp ? MSGID equals 2669354 at pager.offset equals 0. 7/2/2019. Okay, we got one of these again. Grand jury subpoena. United States District Court, Southern District of New York. 2. Redacted. Greetings. We command you that all and singular business and excuses being laid aside, you appear and attend before the grand jury of the people of the United States for the Southern District of New York at the United States Courthouse, 40 Foley Square, room 220, in the borough of Manhattan, City of New York, New York, in the Southern District of New York at the following date, time, and place. Appearance date, July 24, 2019. Appearance time, 10 a.m. To testify and give evidence in regard to an alleged violation of redacted. And not to depart the grand jury without leave thereof or of the United States Attorney, and that you bring with you and produce at the above time and place the following. See attached advice of rights. Failure to attend and produce any items hereby demanded will constitute contempt of court and will subject you to civil sanctions and criminal penalties in addition to other penalties of the law. Dated New York, New York, July 5th, 2019, redacted. Jeffrey S. Berman, United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, redacted. Assistant United States Attorneys, 1 St. Andrews Plaza, New York, New York, 10007. Telephone 212-637-2415. With a signature. Advice of rights. 1. You may refuse to answer any question if a truthful answer to the question would tend to incriminate you. 2. Anything that you do say may be used against you by the grand jury or in a subsequent legal proceeding. 3. If you have a lawyer, the grand jury will permit you a reasonable opportunity to step outside the grand jury room to consult with your lawyer if you so desire. 4. If you would like a lawyer but do not have funds to retain one, you may make an application to the United States Magistrate Judge, who will decide whether to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Oh, Chloe, you're sitting in your bed now, and you're purring. I can hear that all the way from here. Ooh, something in chat. Sorry for asking again, but do you have any more cute-style stories you would recommend? Romantical is the right word I was looking for. Depends on cute style. I think, possibly Scritches. There will be Scritches. That's very Noble Bright. That has some romance in it. Token Human. Token Human. Go for all the Token Human stuff. Just go for that playlist. Token Human is its own separate playlist on the channel. Just go for all of that. That's a nice, casual, cozy setting that I think you will enjoy. Those are the ones that spring to mind immediately. But if you ever need some information or whatever, go onto my Discord. My Discord server, it has a massive community. There's a lot of people there. And if you just go around and ask, people will have their own recommendations for you. Because some stories, even I can't remember them. Like, I've gone through so many at this point. But no, definitely Token Human, possibly Scritches as well. I think you'll have a fun time with both of those. All right. Okay, where was I? Okay, U.S. Department of Justice, United States Attorney, Southern District of New York. The Silvio J. Moller Building, 1 St. Andrews Plaza. Hello, Dexter. New York, New York, 10007. July 5th, 2019. RE Grand Jury Subpoena. Please be advised that the accompanying grand jury subpoena has been issued in connection with any official criminal investigation of a suspected felony being conducted by a federal grand jury. The government hereby requests that you voluntarily refrain from disclosing the existence of the subpoena to any third party. While you are under no obligation to comply with our request, we are requesting you not to make any disclosure in order to preserve the confidentiality of the investigation, and because disclosure of the existence of this investigation might interfere with and impede the investigation. Moreover, if you intend to disclose the existence of this subpoena to a third party, please let me know before making any such disclosure. Thank you for your cooperation in this matter. Very truly yours, Jeffrey S. Berman, United States Attorney, by Redacted. Assistance United States Attorneys, 212-637-2415. And this is a redacted likely photo as well. Okay, 5://C's, users. BYRNE941477. That's the username of this PC. Appdata/local/Microsoft/Window/temporary percentage 20 internet percentage. Going on. 7/2/2019. And some more redacted pages. We got two redacted pages there. Okay. Next one. Still going. We haven't even hit 2 hours yet. I still think it feels like we're making good progress. However, there's a decent amount of files there. I think we barely scratched the surface on a few of these, but considering how condensed these are, I still think it's pretty good progress. So this folder, possibly living abroad. Oh, fucking thing. He needs to stop doing that. Possibly living abroad. Okay, possible self redacted. Address redacted. Story NY11106. Not in service is the phone. FB, Facebook, redacted. Okay. Person encounter detail. Last name, first name, birth date, redacted. Encounter date, 12/08/2015. Encounter time, 0000. Presumably it's not entered. Last name redacted, first name redacted, middle initial redacted. Gender F, date of birth redacted. Document number redacted, document type passport, document country United States, class of admission admitted to date, nothing there. Encounter detail, encounter line type, advanced passenger, encounter date 12/08/2015, encounter time 0000. Terminal lane, site encounter location, nothing there. Inbound, outbound, inspector, no name, 178, it cuts off there. Primary query result, free, refer to agency, not referred. Manifest data, manifest indicator R, passenger status on board, flight vessel number 4, departure location JFK, John F. Kennedy Airport, presumably. Transmitted by TK, carrier code TK, arrival location IST, Ataturk. This could be traveling to Turkey. So this is the last known details of this potential victim. They may have traveled to Turkey. Yeah, Ataturk is Turkey. Istanbul is Istanbul Airport. Ataturk is a Turkish figure in history. Apparently the father of the nation, or created the constitution, which the current state of Turkey is shitting all over. Yeah, I've got to love to talk about politics. Anyway, okay, we've got something else here. U.S. Department of Homeland Security, that's that logo. U.S. Customs and Border Protection, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, TECS, Person Encounter List, generated by Redacted. 06/06/2019, 1538 ETT. Most of this is on the same date, that's wild. Okay, so. Last name, first name, DOB. All of this is redacted. I can skip past that. Doc type. Most of this is PP, C1, PPP, C1, C1. Document number, that's all redacted as well, except these 3 entries, they are missing. Okay. Date, time, 12/08/2015. At midnight. 11/16/2025. 2015, 22:10. 08/04, 2014, midnight. 03/18/2014, 05/05. 01/30, 2014, midnight. 10/15/2013, 16:41. 09/01, 2013, midnight. 04/25, 2013, 13:42. 04/21, 2013, midnight. 01/07, 2012, 00:50. 12/30, 2011, midnight. 06/28, 2011, midnight. 02/11, 2011, midnight. 03/06, 2010, 06:46. 01/09, 2010, 16:09. Carrier code TK, DY, UA, DL, B6, B6, LR, CM, TP, COAA, B6. Yeah, I think it's easier to record this top down, especially when some of this is just completely redacted. There's no point. Carrier number 4, 11, 7012, 83, 48, 245, 245, 352, 751, 660, 237, 104, 84, 950, 868. UO. O-I-O-I-O-I-O-I-O-I-O-I-I. Site, nothing there. A477. Again, nothing there for all of these apart from the ones I put my mouse over. A105, A471, 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 A473, and A471. Okay. Inspection. Okay. Name, no. ABC T1 Automated Passport Control, JFK. Name, no. Redacted. Name, no. APC Automated Passport Control, JFK. Name, no. Redacted. Name, no. Redacted. Name, no. 2 free, repeated 3 times. Type. This is all APIS, apart from this last entry where it's airline not API. Status, on board request, on board. The rest of this is blank. Ref, everything blank. Arrival location, IST, JFK, CPH, EWR, BOM, JFK, FCO, JFK, CUN, JFK, PTY, LIS, TLV, JFK. Department location, JFK, IST, JFK, DEL, EWR, SCO, JFK, CUN, JFK, SJO, MIA, EWR, GRU, KIN. So it could be the flight logs of this particular potential victim. Yeah, I mean, maybe they've traveled a lot. I don't know. This could be, just could be, excuse me, tracing what they know of where this person has traveled to. And, they might have the arrival location and department location. They would only have that with cooperative countries, I think, as well. Which is why it's, doesn't always add up. Anyway, total number of records, 16, I think that says. 16. Legend lock. Okay. For official use only, / law enforcement sensitive. Do we have more here? No, it's something different. Okay, Department of Homeland Security. U.S. Customs and Border Protection, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, TECS, Person Encounter List. Generated by Redacted. Page 2 of 2. Okay. I'll do top down again. I think that works. So, codes: EWR BOM MIA DEL IST GRU JFK KIN FCO PTY LIS SJO CPH CUN TLV. Value: Newark International, Mumbai, Japrati, Shivaji, INTL India, Miami Intel FL. I'm going to try saying that again, and the cats are just going to start floating and levitating in midair. Miami Intel Florida, Indira Gandhi International, maybe, Ataturk, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Guru Halls International, John F. Kennedy Intel, Kingston, Norman Manley, Rome, Fuimicino, Panama, Omar Torrijos H, Lisbon, Lisboa, San Jose, Juan Santa Maria, INTL, Copenhagen Airport, Cancun, Ben Gurion Intel. Maybe they're just tracing where this person travelled. Could be as during their time with Epstein, for example, if they had a passport, and Epstein liked to go everywhere, unless of course they're tracing Epstein's particular flight logs. Anyway, doc type. Codes and value. Okay, we can just do it. It's just 2 lines. P passport. C1 permanent residence card 1998 to 2003. Site code. Okay, codes: A473, A471, A105, and A477. Value: A473 New York JFK Airport Term 8, A471 New York JFK Airport Term 4, A105 Newark International AP Terminal C, A477 New York JFK Airport Term 1. For official use only, law enforcement sensitive. E-Justice NY Integrated Justice Portal. People, DMV photo system, DMV photo request plus feedback. DMV photo request, okay. DMV photo subject information. Name, redacted. Client ID, redacted. Case number, 31ENY3027175. DMV transaction number, 1161979. DMV transaction date / time, 2019 0606 1303 20827. We've covered this stuff so many times, I think I can skip past it in this. Thank you much, dude. Have a good one. Yeah, no worries. Check out the Discord if you ever want to a recommendation, or if you're trying to find a specific story. God, I might need to stop the stream in a bit because I can't speak properly. Yeah. If you ever want to know what a story is, or if you want recommendations, go onto the Discord. That's the best place for everybody to be. Anyway, okay. 36, redacted. That's home create, so this is obviously a screenshot. Oh no, it's a Facebook page. Okay, redacted. Timeline about friends, photos, more. This is all redacted on the side, I'll get to that in a bit. About, to see what she says for friends, send her a friend request, add friend. Overview, work and education, places she's lived, contact and basic information, family and friends, detail about I think they meant to redact this bit. That is a victim name. Out of respect for the victim, I'm not going to say what the name is. That is a victim name. If this is the Facebook page they are looking at, that's a victim name, you dumbasses. Life events. Again, I'm happy to name victims. No, I'm happy to name perpetrators, but not the victims. Anyway, no relationship info to show. Photos and albums. It's all blank. I suspect it's been hidden and covered up. See you on, unless of course it's a private Facebook profile. Yeah, I might have to call it at some point. Check-ins. Okay, on the side, we've got 2H things sticking out. 2H, 2min. These could be messages, good conversations, create new group. Yeah, that says the victim name on there. No, I'm not going to say it. I brought attention to it, sure, but I'm sure. The people watching the stream, and when they watch the VOD afterwards, they can respect the privacy of the victim. Because that is what we're about here. As I say, peace for the victims, and, making the perpetrators face real fucking justice. Okay, 36, redacted. Okay, group conversations, create new group. And these are images, music, and the rest these are either loading, but I suspect, they've just been blanked out in a way. And now, because this is a Facebook profile for someone private, Yeah, I'm not going to say that. But on the plus side, at least when they've redacted this photo, they've at least left some stuff around here. This is on the water. So it could be a photo of kayaking or swimming or something like that. But that's redacted anyway. Anyway. Okay, we can carry on from here. Yeah. Doing web page, I mean, these are web pages like with victim information, so I can't. But I have noted it exists. That will count towards my narrating the entire thing. You know, some things I can't necessarily do out of sheer decency. In a way. Would I call it decency to just do this entire thing? I don't know. What would you guys call it? 6/6/2019, TLO-XP Comprehensive Report. Important. This is not a consumer report and does not constitute a consumer report under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. This report may not be used to determine the eligibility for credit, insurance, employment, or any other purpose regulated under the FCRA. This system may be used only in accordance with your subscriber agreement, the Gramm-Leach Bailey Act, GLBA, the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, DPPA, and all other applicable laws. User agrees to having knowledge of all applicable laws pertaining to the usage of data. User accepts all responsibility civilly and criminally for any use of this system. Violations of these restrictions or misuse of this system will cause your access to be terminated and will cause an immediate investigation. I will say that this last set of files, this will probably be my last one of the night, and I will call the stream off because my throat is starting to itch, my voice is starting to break, and I'm going to get to the point where it will take a lot more time to get through like a single page, whereas before I was flowing freely. So, you know, normally if it was early in the night, I would just say it's a break and I'll come back. But it is 20 past 11 at night in my country at the moment, so I want to make sure I get a decent night's sleep as well. So my apologies. Sometimes I've gone longer on the streams, but in this one I don't think I can. So my health will have priority here. But that doesn't mean I've stopped. I'm just going to do it tomorrow as well, or another day. As I say, I'll do it when I can. It's just, IRL is still a thing. I've got family coming over soon, and there's going to be a funeral, so I won't be able to do it every day as much as I want to. Anyway, I probably should have started with that right at the beginning. Oh well. Anyway. Comprehensive report. Report legend. Okay. Date 06/06/2019. Reference ID none. Report legend. D equals deceased person. Okay. So this equals view address map. Multiple people. View social networks. Relatives. S 1 arrow. First degree of separation. S 2 arrows. Second degree of separation. S 3 arrows. Third degree of separation. Subject information. Best information. I'm really dropping the ball here. Best information for subject. Name, redacted. 06/01/2007 to 03/07/2019. Name, redacted. 10/01/2007 to 03/01/2019. Name, redacted. 10/01/2007 to 12/01/2009. Date of birth, redacted. Born 34 years ago. SSN, redacted. Unlock has been locked. Issued in New York between 2008 to 2007. Other individuals observed with shared SSN, none. Other names associated with subject, redacted. 12/01/2008 to 03/01/2019. And redacted 02/02/2009. Other DOBs associated with subject, none found. Possible phones associated with subject, show carriers, all redacted, ET mobile 86%, ET VoIP 66%, ET landline 66%. Indicators, bankruptcies, no. Liens, no. Judgments, yes. Property, no. Corporate affiliations, no. Criminal traffic, no. Global watch lists match, no. The global watch list checks covers 60 plus sanctions and watch lists, including OFAC, SDNs and other lists, EU Consolidated List, HM Treasury Sanctions, UN Consolidated List, and more. Click here for a detailed coverage list, including update frequency. Email addresses associated with subject, redacted. Run social media basic search. Okay, and that's the table of contents is right here. Okay. Subject information. Potential subject photos, none found. Possible criminal records, none found. Possible employers, none found. Address summary, 1 found. Address details, 1 found. Cities history, 1 found. Countries history, 1 found. Driver's license information, 1 found. Utilities, 2 found. Professional affiliations, none found. Professional licenses, none found. Bankruptcy records, none found. Liens, none found. Judgments, 1 found. Current property deeds, none found. Past property deeds, none found. Property foreclosures, none found. Property assessments, none found. Evictions, none found. Current vehicle information, none found. Past vehicle information, none found. FL accidents, none found. Global watch lists, none found. US business affiliations, none found. UCC filings, none found. US corporate affiliations, none found. Aircraft records, none found. Pilot licenses, none found. Voter registrations, none found. Hunting permits, none found. Weapon permits, none found. Possible relatives, summary, none found. Likely associates, summary, none found. Possible associates, summary, none found. Just tell me what you have found, you... Just say what you've got. Just don't say what you don't have. Never mind. My God, that nearly killed my throat. We still got a little bit to go, so it might still do that. Potential subject photos, none found. Possible criminal records, none found. Possible employers, none found. Address summary, 1 found. Redacted, Astoria, NY 11106 to 3731, Queens County, 06-2007 to 06-06-2019. Address details, 1 found. Redacted, Astoria, NY 11106 to 3731, Queens County, 06-2007 to 06-06-2019. Back to summary. Address contains 2 units. Current private phone at address. Redacted, ET. See data, Italo. Owner, redacted. View person record. Purchase date, 09/30/1987. Purchase price, $248,000. Assessed value, $35,000. $35,167. Land square feet, 1,900. Cities history, 1 found. Astoria, New York. Queens County, 06-2007 to 06-06-2019. Counties history, 1 found. Queens, NY, 06-2007 to 06-06-2019. Yeah, we can avoid the small things here. I've already done that stuff. Driver's license information, 1 found. Redacted, Astoria, NY 11106 to 3731, Queens County. Redacted, DL number. Redacted, unlock has been logged. DL state, NY. Reported date, 10/03/2009. Date of birth, redacted, born 34 years ago. Utilities, 2 found. Name, redacted. View person record. First seen by utilities, 07/31/2011. Date reported, 11/30/2008. Service phone, redacted. Phone type, unknown. Listing type, unknown. Time zone, ET. Carrier, Sprint Spectrum LP. Carrier type, wireless. City, New York City, Zone 8. State, NY. Billing address, redacted. Astoria, NY 11106 to 3731, Queens County. Name, redacted. View person record. First seen by utilities, 04/30/2011. Date reported, 11/30/2008. Service phone, redacted. Phone type, unknown. Listing type, unknown. Time zone, ET. Carrier Spirit Spectrum LP. Carrier type, wireless. City, New York City, Zone 8. State, NY. Billing address, redacted. Astoria, NY 11106 to 3731, Queens County. Professional affiliations, none found. Professional licenses, none found. Bankruptcy records, none found. Liens, none found. Judgments, 1 found. Redacted. View person record. Address, redacted. Astoria, NY 1106 to 3731, Queens County. Filing type, civil judgment. Plaintiff, Capital One Bank USA, NA. Court case number, CV01528512. Total judgment amount, $1,118. Filing date, 08/23/2012. Current property deeds, not found. Past property deeds, none found. Property foreclosures, none found. Property assessments, none found. Evictions, none found. Current vehicle information, none found. Past vehicle information, none found. FL accidents, none found. Global watch lists, none found. US business affiliations, none found. UCC filings, none found. US corporate affiliations, none found. Aircraft recordings, none found. Pilot licenses, none found. Voter registrations, none found. Hunting permits, none found. Weapon permits, none found. Possible relatives, summary, none found. Likely associates, summary, none found. Possible associates, summary, none found. And that's it for that file. And that is also the last file I'm going to do tonight. There are others. Okay. Fuck it. That counts as doing that file. It's just one thing. Video interview. That's what that says. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And we can carry on from here. So we'll carry on from file 5946. We'll carry on from that next stream. That said, there are apparently about 3.5 million files to go. So we've barely scratched the surface on paper, but in reality, you saw a bunch of redacted files there. So we'll see if we can, we'll see how fast we go through that. From 5946. Okay, so I've left that note for myself. So that's what we'll be doing next time I'm streaming. Maybe that'll be tomorrow. Maybe that'll be another day. I don't know. It's likely going to be tomorrow, because I reckon I'll be able to get tomorrow's stuff done quickly and be on top of all of my work. But I'm very, very tired. My voice is starting to break, so I now think this is a good time to stop this stream. Yeah, sorry if you just joined. I do have plenty of other streams covering the Epstein content. You can look at my previous stuff, starting with the court documents that I did in 2014. Nope, 2024, not 2014. Jesus, I'm not with it. Anyway, but thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thank you for supporting me in doing this, and thank you for helping keep this alive, because a lot of people will want the Epstein stuff buried, but we cannot let that happen. Let's bring the victims justice, and we bring justice to the perpetrators, and make sure they pay for their crimes. Anyway, apart from that, I'll see you guys next time.